Yo, 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 what is up, homies? Welcome to Homemade Everything Garage. I've got some wood. Should have made a joke about that, but I have lumber. Today on Homemade Everything, we're going to be building a tack box. A lot of y'all aren't honkies, so I will explain. A tack box is a crate for all of your horse things. Harnesses, some ankle wraps, some, do they have ankles? Are they called ankles? I don't know. Lots of horse things. So we need to just make a box. It's going to be simple. The hardest part is because I made it harder. I want to practice box joints, which are basically just square. See, I'm messing up already. This is my trial and error board. I finally got pretty good at it. I realized that the direction of the grain is super important, so figured that out. I'm going to cut these a little extra long in case this happens. Then I can zip those off and then make new ones. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'm going to make the box a little bigger than the blueprint show I should make, because it may end up being the original size after I trim off my mistakes. So let's go ahead and get the boards cut. I've got some, what are these, by 10, by 8? They're 1 by 10s, but as you can see, after they're planed off, they're like not even 9.5. They're 9.25, and then I have a few that are by 12, so they're gonna be like by 11 probably. Let me see. They are by 11 and like a 16, maybe an 8th. It's pathetic. I hate this. Like, it just sucks. I just hate everything. I'm so negative today. Alright, let's be positive from here on out throughout the video. First things first, we need to get these marked to length, cut to length, and then we can start doing box joints. I'll show you my jig later. Alright, so I've got all of these boards cut. These are going to be the side panels for the box. And I figured, like, since I don't know if these box joints are going to actually work, I'm going to go ahead and cut them right now. Try to link these things together, make the perimeter of the box, basically. Make the box part of the box, and go from there. I don't know yet also how I'm going to make the lid and the floor of the box. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright, so here is my Crappie Jig Set Up, and basically what happens is you take a board and you put it here and you butt it up against this stop, and then you push it through. And when you push it through, it will cut a little notch in this. Let me grab one that I have cut. Alright, so you will bump it up against it. Bump against that stop. Then you will rip it, and then you'll just move it on over, and you'll cut the next one, and you'll cut the next one. And this has to be perfectly spaced right here. Has to be exactly the width of this as well, or you will get too fat of teeth, and then you won't be aligned correctly. So I've got it exactly how it needs to be, I hope. And yeah, I mean, all we need to do now is just get to cutting. It's trial and error when it comes to stuff like this. So let's cut these boards and see if they link up together. Yes. Yes. So here it is, and I'm really proud of the way that these turned out. They're just pushed together right now, but there's just enough tolerance that it's firm, like I have to use this mallet to get it in place. But yeah, otherwise they're pretty great. But yeah, so we need to make a second story for this thing basically. And then we'll make a ring on the inside to fix the two levels together. I don't know how I'm going to make that super strong. Because this thing's so big, it needs to be super strong. And I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. We're just going to have to figure that out, I guess. I could cut dovetails on this, but with the direction of the grain, it's probably going to be ugly. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's make another one of these. Ta 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 ta! I do not remember where we left off last night because of that. But it is basically perimeter box and lid perimeter too. So today we're doing top and bottom. What is up, guys? Welcome to day 3 of the Tack Box project. I didn't make much headway yesterday, day 2. I got the hinges on. I will have to take them off whenever I sand and stain, but I wanted to get the lid squared up with the base. So I did that. I got the lid actually on, so it's not just a perimeter. It's super glued in place. Not super glue, it is super well wood glued. I should, explain that, I guess. Or just say it correctly the first time. But I started to do some trim, and I quickly regretted it. I was like, you know what? I need to true up these edges first before I cover them with anything. I want everything to be flush so that it fits well, so that the glue is minimal thickness and really adheres everything well. So We're going to today, I really wish I had gone to the store already and got my sanding discs, but we're going to need to do that. But right now I'm just going to do a little bit of work to get things trued up. You know what? Let's get the base on. That's my goal for the day. Alright, so it is officially a box now. We have a lot of work to go, but right now it is a box. You can put things in it. And you can close it. What I need to do next is to use this sanding wheel, put it on my grinder, and sand away at edges like this that aren't perfect. There's excess glue, there's overlap of wood, and I just need to shave it all down to where it's more flush. Hopefully exactly flush, probably not. But just more flush, get all that excess glue off there, and then we have 1x4s that we're going to wrap this thing with. Then we're going to drill and put pegs through all of it just to make it look cool and also be a little bit stronger and better held together. So let's get to grinding. It's going to be a dusty mess, so I'm going to put a respirator on, get a fan blowing, and just do a lot of work. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I've got the outside all sanded. I rounded the edges. They look pretty sweet. I'm pretty happy with them. They look neat. The box joints turned out pretty sloppy, but also better than I expected for my first time ever trying them. And so now what I'm going to do is basically kind of trim it out a little bit. So I'm going to do stuff like this. There will be 1x4 here, a 1x4 here. So if you remember, I made this and then this separately. And then I sliced this one to make the lid. Yeah. So these are just glued together right now. And I glued them together just to keep them true, square with one another. And now I'm going to wrap them with a 1x4 right here that overlaps these two edges. And then there's also going to be one on the inside. And then I'm going to drill straight through, and I'm going to plug it with a peg, like here, 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 and all the way around. Alright guys, I've got these wrapped. Basically I wanted to put this one here so that the top and bottom would be joined together. So right now it's glued. I had metal screws in it. I took those out after the glue dried. I will drill these out to 3/8 inch and put dowels in there and then shave them off real nice. It's going to look pretty good. But the main point of this was to hold top and bottom together. It's going to do a really good job of that, and these were to complete the look of this wrap. And also just protect the box from getting beat up. It's going to be in a barn, and I mean there's going to be stuff thrown in it, thrown at it, horses kicking it possibly. So in the inside, my plans. The top is going to have some really cool stuff that I don't even know how to describe. The bottom is going to basically be like this, except I'm going to put a strap on the inside as well to hold top and bottom together. You can see that seam really clearly now. So the inside is going to have another 1x4 right there, and that's also going to serve as a sliding rail for a drawer that will be half of the width of this, and so it can slide back and forth from left to right, and then the rest of it's just going to be compartments. Ta 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 ta! So it's coming along good. I've got the inside done here. So that will have a little tray resting on it, sliding back and forth. I put stops at the end. So where this wraps around and there's this little ledge, on the sides there is not. So the tray will slide up against here. There is a purpose for that though. They are higher than the outside. The lid was not exactly square. Guys, it was close enough I could have left it and nobody else would have noticed, but the guy who builds it, yeah, I've got like time invested and this is my baby now and I need it to be perfect. So these are basically guides for the lid. So when the lid closes, it scrapes a little bit along there and it's nice and it's nice and tight. I like it. I guess I should show you instead of just babbling about it. Well, while we're at it, I also put these in. They are recessed by 3/4 of an inch because there will be a top layer above them. It'll have a U cut out for it, so when these wraps are in there, they will go down in the top like soda cans, and then you push them down on the bottom, but you need a place to push them, so there will be a groove, a U-shaped groove cut out to where they're only held in by like this much wood and this much wood, but the middle is open, so you can grab them, pull them up, pull them out. Not my original idea, but a really cool idea that I'm going to implement on this. Yeah, so let's close it. The wraps are going to fall out. This board's going to fall down. It's perfect. Yeah, custom. Alright, so this, there they go. So this fits right like that, and it's snug right now. I'll do some sanding. It can close. See? So that is the seam between the lid and the chest, and it fits good. I actually may leave it as is and let it wear over time so that it continues to be snug, but I don't know or care about that very much right now. There's a lot of other work to get done. I do want to take these corners off. I don't know if I'm going to round them or straight 45-degree them or what, but that doesn't really matter either. Here is a mistake. Yep, I was using this as a sawhorse the whole time. I was like, you're going to mess up, and I messed up. These are screws coming out from the inside where I put these in, and that is fine because after this glue dries, same as these, I'm going to remove the screws, see they're gone, and then I'm going to drill them out with a 3/8 drill bit and put dowel rod in there and have that glued up. So everything's going to be nice and held together with glue, dowels, as well as just what it's already held together with. But there will be no metal hardware holding these things on. Yep. That's where we're at, boys and girls. Yep. But it is wifey's day off, so I'm going to go play in the backyard with the kiddos. We need to go grocery shopping too. Lots of things to do, so I will see y'all tomorrow. And YouTubers do this all the time, so I want to do it. Yeah! Was it cool? Oh, I'm supposed to cut it when the hand... Okay, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Yo, it is like day 4 or 5 on this project. I've lost count. I took a few days off too, just because of life has things, and I'm happy with where we're at. We're almost over the hill, basically, as far as like the amount of work to be done. We're almost 50% of the way through with this thing, especially with construction. So it's almost, I would say we're like 70% of the way built, and then the rest of it's going to be finished building, and then like perfect things, make things look prettier, and then sand and stain and like just hand file all the things, as well as hardware attaching, just a few like put some feet on it, a few things that aren't necessarily like essential to it being a strong box, but for right now we're at a pretty good stage. Got some good momentum going, and I've got some good rest from this project to boost that momentum and keep me motivated, I guess. But we need to build a tray for in here. I guess we could do that a little bit later. I think today we'll focus on finishing out the lid as far as construction goes. It's going to be a lot of, damn it, I meant to charge this battery. Should be okay. It's going to be a lot of jigsaw work. I don't know, you'll see why. The little U-shaped thing I was talking about last time, it's going to be a lot of little, I don't know, jigsaw work. And I really don't know how I want to do the lid yet, so I'm going to stare at it for like 30 minutes while this battery charges and figure out how we want to do that, and then I'll show you how we're doing it. Alright, alright, so I have these, excuse me, very sawdusty in here. People say that. It's a thing that people say, sawdusty. I've got these done for the wraps, and then I have also cut with the router jig some more square box joints. And so what we're going to do with that is, I have 4 pieces here. I'm going to make a little tray. I don't necessarily know how I'm going to make the tray other than the perimeter right now, so I'm going to make the perimeter of it. I'm going to get it squared at 90 and then glue it, and then we'll go from there. I'm sure I will just tack some type of wood to the bottom, but I also want to make some lips. So if you'll notice, the longest pieces here are only that long, so they slide down. They'll slide all the way down to the bottom. So I need to put a lip on the very top of this sliding tray. And I don't want it to be permanently in this. I want it to slide back and forth, but also come out of this entire box. So I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. So we've got to do a little bit of design work there, and figure out how I want to do the bottom, and also have some type of handle, or handles, plural, to grab this thing and pull it out. So what we will do is we will get these all glued together. I'll hold them at a 90, and then we can work on the other parts of the tray later. Because I really don't know how I want to design all that yet. So let's get to gluing. Alright, so I've made the, I guess, perimeter for this little sliding drawer thing. I don't know what to call it. Tray? Let's call it a tray. That's the appropriate word, so let's call it that. I don't know how I'm going to do the handle yet, so right now I'm going to be thinking on that while cutting boards for the bottom of it, and then also making little slider rails for it. Yeah, it should be pretty easy. Yeah, I have no idea what I want to do. So I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of cleaned the shop a little bit, just so I can get the rest of the work done without tripping over everything. I've taken out all of the screws. Oh, there's one. Need to take out a couple more screws, and then I'm going to drill out all of the holes to 3/8 inch, I think it was. Put in some dowels, glue them in, saw them off, and then after that it's just sanding for like 4 hours to make this thing how I want it before stain and clear, and then we should be done after that. I don't like really saying that word because I get ahead of myself and excited, and then I get sad when it's not done. But it's getting pretty close to done. So let's drill a bunch of holes after taking out some screws that are left, and we'll go from there. I did go with oak dowels just because I really hated on the last project. I think it was I didn't film it. It was, oh, you know what? No, I think it was Davis's baby changing table. So maybe that is videoed, but I doubt that I went over the look of the face of the pegs when I was done shaving them off. But we used a pine dowel instead of an oak dowel, and the oak is harder. The pine kind of had a lot more tear out on the face of them after being shaved off. So I went with oak this time. Right now I'm going to use a handsaw. Right there, I actually do know where my saw is. And cut all the pegs off. I don't know how long that's going to be. If I have more time, which I think I will, then we'll get into something else. Oh, I forgot I need to trim the inside. Alright, I may do that as well. Let's get to cutting pegs and see how far we get. Yeah, much better. Okay, I think that took me only a total of 5 minutes to shave all these down pretty close, if not beyond. That one, see, I've dug into the wood around it a little bit. Not a problem. It took off excess glue. It is going to be distressed, so it doesn't matter. But all the little pegs, bing, 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 they're all gone. So, now is the worst part of the project, which is just sanding the surface and sanding all the excess glue off of this friggin' thing. Yeah. So, let's get to work. And after about 1,000 hours of sanding, we're good. I didn't sand the inside yet, and I'm really not going to do much sanding on it, but the outside looks awesome. So these are the pegs. I never even measured where they were. I just like drilled holes and did them. There's still some glue here. I'm not even going to worry about it. This thing's going to be rustic. It's going to be ugly, and it's going to look good. Be ugly and look good. Don't worry about it. So I already sanded this drawer as well. Move all these things so we can put it in here. There's places like there that have glue. I'm just going to leave it. I mean, this thing, it's made to hold horse tack, so it's going to get beat up. It's going to have ugly stuff in it. It's going to have, you know, it's a real thing. It can be beat up. It can be imperfect. And the fact that she wanted an antique or distressed look, out of this thing in the end, like that glue and other imperfections are only going to add to that. So I'm really, really happy with the way that things are turning out. What do y'all think so far? Ellie, what do you think so far? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No.
What? So yeah, that's how long sanding took, is baby girl woke up from her nap and came to join me. So I had to get rid of my earmuffs and hand them over to someone with more sensitive ears. But I'll stop jabbering here. There's no way I'm going to get on this again today. So I'll probably see y'all tomorrow.
Can I have two, Dad?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Pull it out. Good job. Alright, you ready to go get Buddy up from his nap?
Yes, but I made a fence.
You're making a fence?
Yeah, but only this is a fence.
Oh, only that's a fence.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
No.
Let's go get Buddy.
Okay.
Okay. We'll see y'all in a little bit. This project has been sitting here for like 3 weeks untouched. We need to finish it. The inside needs sanding. I think I'm just gonna half-ass that and then stain it. I just want to get it done. Like, it's so close to done. The biggest problem I'm having right now is that I bought this cool latch. Super neat. Love it. However, it's gigantic. So if I put it here, it hits right there. Same thing, flipped upside down. Super close to fitting, but doesn't quite fit completely. So alright, my dudes, it's time to stain it. I'm under the weather, feel like poo, but I'm also tired of seeing this thing half done in my garage, or almost done in my garage. There is a lot of sawdust, there's a lot of dirt, grime, metal shavings from other projects. I'm just going to give this thing a nice sweeping off, and then I'm going to blow it out with the air compressor, and then I'm going to probably just go through like this. I bet it's not going to blow out because it has a lot of dust down in a crevice between two boards. So we're just going to kind of wipe it down, probably brush it off with a dry paintbrush, and try to get it ready for stain, and then we'll go ahead and just stain it immediately after that. Let's get to work. Alright, so this thing is all stained. I have also then wiped off the excess stain with acetone. I don't know if that's a good or bad idea, but that's what I had. It's a thinning agent or whatever, a solvent. And so it's wiped down. There's no like sticky stain anymore. It's real thinned out. And it also put this real cool highlighting in the grain wherever it did not really retain that stain. That didn't have to rhyme, but it did. But like up here is the best example of it. So you can it really highlights the grain of the wood, because some of the wood is harder or denser and it does not take that stain as well, and then the softer, less dense areas really soak up the stain super heavy. So it's kind of cool. This thing is done. I just put on the last coat of clear. I'll show it to y'all when I've got it all assembled, because right now it is wet. I need to also put the front latch on, and then it's done. But as far as work, we are complete. So next time I see ya, it's gonna be all fancy, like set up real nice and neat, or maybe I'll just like close it and like set it in a corner. Anyways, we're done. I'm gonna go, I don't know, celebrate or something, and not do this. This project took me about 2 months to do, so very happy to be done with it. I know that our customer is also going to be very happy to see it when it's done. She's been our babysitter during this as well. That was our source of payment, which was awesome. Good trade-off. We don't have money, she doesn't have money, so she needed this. We needed a babysitter for dates. Bam, done. So that was a great trade-off there, and these normally run for like $1,000 and up, depending on what you want from them. So I'm really happy to be able to save her that much money and make her something really custom and nice.